What's up, PHP community? Welcome back to another live stream in Oh Boy. Today, we are going to use Laravel MCP, a package we have released yesterday, and it will be so awesome. You guys are going to see this in the first place. I know, a long first minute. I know. Vladimir, how you doing? Lopez, nice to see you. Yerte is saying that he changed his hairstyle to be as Nuno. Dude, that's crazy. That won't make you a better developer. I'm pretty sure you will be a more badass right now. Does second place get you a PHP Storm lifetime license? No, I don't think so. Hey, Nicholas, nice to see you. Hey, Dan, thank you so much for the subscription. Tier 1, 8 months in a row. 8 months in a row. You are absolutely awesome. Peak and Flow just gifted a bunch of tier 1 subs too. Dude, Pick and Flow, you are awesome, by the way, okay? Supporting me since day one, I really appreciate, man. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mini on PT, what's up, dude? Nice to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Gian goes, nice to see you too. Nicholas again. Dudes, today we are going to dive into some Laravel MCP stuff, and we are going to dive into CodeRabbit too. Okay, I hope you guys are excited about this because I've been like keeping under wrap a little bit how to use this Laravel MCP package. So today we're going to see in the first place, from the very first composer required to the very first creation of the first MCP tool and everything, you are going to see everything today. So I hope you guys are excited. And that being said, let's just get started. Okay, let's just get started. So what we have today is quite simple. Okay, I'm going to share my screen real quick. Okay, we're going to build an MCP shed. And you guys may think this is crazy, but the goal is having you guys having a conversation with me through Cursor or through Cloud Code. This looks crazy, but this is exactly what we are doing. And during this process, I'm going to explain to you what is MCP, what is tooling in MCP, and how this can help your application. Okay? So this will be a full app from scratch. And to help us out, we are going to use CodeRabbit, okay? CodeRabbit is this software I've been using for reviewing my pull requests. And honestly, it becomes better over time. That's something I have noticed, and I want to explain to you in detail what exactly this means. Before we jump into all of this, let me just say that we have a new YouTube video called Introduce It Laravel MCP. So if you haven't checked this already, go ASAP to this video, put like and add a comment on what do you think about MCP in general, if you think it's a good idea, if you think it's something that will stay out there in the market, and let me know what you think. So we have that to talk about. What else? Yesterday, yeah, Laravel MCP was out yesterday. Do I have anything else to talk about here? Yeah, this package has a lot of things. Hopefully we are going to cover most of them today, at least the most interesting ones. I would like to just say thanks to all our sponsors, starting with Native PHP, the best way of developing native PHP applications. It works for mobile and desktop too. It's absolutely awesome. Check them out. Laracas, which is the best way to learn PHP and Laravel development. I have learned everything I know from this place. PHP Storm, the best editor for PHP development. You guys know that. You see me every single day using it. You guys know how good it is. Redberry International, the best digital agency you can find for Laravel and Vue development. Talk with them if you want to have a project very well done. And obviously Devin AI, your software engineer that gets shit done super quickly. So that being said, we have a new sponsor, CodeRabbit AI, which is the software we are going to explore today while we build this new MCP tool, okay? While we build this new MCP tool. Buzz, thank you so much for 100 bits. I really appreciate your support. Lopez is saying that past V4 is awesome. You are awesome, dude. You are awesome. Shiko, nice to see you. How you doing, man? How you doing? Milok, nice to see you as well. How everyone is feeling today. That being said, let's just get started, okay? Let's just get started. Now, maybe we start by checking the Laravel MCP documentation to see a little bit what this is about before I can show you a little bit what we are building today together, okay? So, what is MCP to begin with? And this is kind of hard to understand for people coming into the scene. So I'm going to explain you in very simple words, okay? In very simple words. Imagine that you have an hotel. Okay, you have an hotel where people can do reservations, okay? So there is multiple ways you can accept those reservations. The first one is through the phone. People grab the phone. Hi, I would like to reserve a week for my vacations, of course, right? The second one is that people go to the website and they book from that website themselves, okay? The third one is through an API, meaning that you ask booking.com or you ask other provider to literally interact with your API for reservations. Okay, that's the third one. And now we have a new one. It's called MCP. Okay, and what is MCP? It's basically allowing agents, things like Cloud Code or Junie or Cursor, allowing these agents to reach directly your website. Okay. And you need to provide this protocol in between to explain the agent what your website is about, what kind of things you accept, which is reservations, and what is the parameters of those reservations, maybe like things like the first day, the last day, and things like that. So this is exactly what MCP tool is about. Is another entry point to interact with your application. Okay, another entry point, especially an entry point that is dedicated to AI agents. Okay, was this clear, chat? Write on the chat if this was crystal clear for you all, and if you really understand the value of MCP tooling. It's an API for agents, exactly. Allows agents like Junie, agents like Cloud Code, agents like Cursor to go to your website and do things in behalf of the user. Okay? So let me know in the chat if this was crystal clear, because it's important. It's very important that everyone understands this from the beginning of the live stream, okay? If you got it, it's perfect. If you didn't got it, let me know and I will explain again. Okay? So this is what Laravel MCP is about. Okay? Laravel MCP is about this. It's about allowing this new MCP protocol coming to Laravel 2. Because in Laravel, we are used to some sort of, a good API to use things. And if we go all the way down on this documentation, you will see that it's very easy to create a server. So in this case, for example, this would be your hotel server with instructions like it's a server that allows agents to do reservations in my hotel. And one of the tools is make reservation tool. Okay? And if you go all the way down, that is multiple things you can do with a tool, but one of them too is testing the tool, which I am very proud of. How did we actually allow people to do this? So if you go all the way down, you will see unit testing, which would be here. So testing, your hotel reservation would be as simple as this. You type hotel server tool, and then you assert the response is okay. All right? So this is how simple MCP can be. And apparently everyone got it, which is very positive, okay? By the way, chat, on this live stream, we are not afraid to say that we don't understand. We are very open with each other. We talk about what we know, about what we don't know, and we learn all of us together, okay? Okay? Great question from Psycho. Great question from Psycho. Psycho made this question. How the AI decides to connect to your MCP server instead of not connecting or connecting to another MCP server? Great question. So, using natural language, your AI agent, that could be Claude or Junie, will be able to understand which tool you want to interact with or which server do you want to interact with. So if I type something like, I would like to make an hotel reservation, the AI immediately, because of the tools he has available, will understand this. Okay, the user wants to do an hotel reservation. I am allowed to... What the heck is happening? Oh, I think I'm back. All right, chat, write on the chat if we are back. Write on the chat if we are back. I literally don't know what's happening. I just adjusted the bitrate to be much lower, so stuff like this shouldn't happen again, okay? All right, chat, are we ready for Laravel MCP? If you guys are ready, type on the chat that you are ready, because I am so ready. I'm so ready, okay? I'm so ready. You guys ready? All right. So what we are building today is quite simple. We are going to build a social media together that use MCP to interact with, okay? So we are going to have this. The end goal is that you go to Cursor, for example, and you type, I am Nuno, say good morning to the Nuno Nation, okay? And what this will do is that it will send a message to my app and then ask all messages to display them to me. Okay? Oh my God. Of course I share screen. Here we go, chat. Here we go. Of course I share screen. Okay? So the goal again is quite simple. We go to Cursor, we type, I am Nuno, say good morning to the Nuno Nation. Cursor will automatically understand that I want to interact with the Nuno Nation app, send the message to the app, and then it will display the timeline to me. Okay? Will be a simple chat application, but through MCP. Okay? This will be super simple, and we are going to do this all together. By the way, chat, if you just arrived, my name is Nuno, PHP and Laravel developer. I love you all. If you guys enjoy the PHP content I produce, please go all the way down and subscribe to this channel, right? That's very, very, very important. Okay, very, very important. Now, that being said, let's just get started. The first thing I'm going to do is actually create. I'm going to create a model to this. Okay, so I'm going to go to open my terminal real quick, and I'm going to just type PHP artisan make model dash m. Okay, I think this is dash m for migration. If it's not, you guys will let me know. But what I will do here is type make model dash migration, and the model name will be message. Okay, here we go. We have a migration and a model for this. So let's focus a little bit on this, on this domain layer where the messages will be persisted on. Okay, that's the first thing we are going to do. Okay. Yemi is saying the following: can I build a client using React, for example, that communicates with my MCP? In theory, you could build it using Node, not using React. React is a library for the UI, meaning that you cannot do that with React. You can use PHP if you want to. PHP is a cool language. PHP is an awesome language for MCP development, so you can use PHP, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. All right, so we have the message chat. We have a message chat. So the first thing we are going to do is kind of write the migration for this, okay? By the way, chat, we are using my own starter kit that I've released 2 days ago. This is my own starter kit. So already comes with the best things in the PHP world, meaning Larastan, Pint, Past PHP, Rector PHP, and if you go all the way down, you get to see that we are in level 1000 in terms of strictness, okay? Everything is insanely strict, okay? Code coverage 100%, everything is just top-notch in terms of things, top-notch. All right, Simone, we are literally building a shop using AI and MCP. Leandro Lopez is saying, Nuno is asking for Laravel commands, must be a joke. Dude, I know as much as Laravel as you do, by the way, okay? Many options I don't know on the top of my head, I just don't know them, okay? So this is, my own starter kit. If you guys want to check this out, is probably this one. Here we go, my own starter kit. Here we go, my own starter kit, released it 2 days ago. So go there and let me know what you think about that starter kit, because I worked my ass off on that one. So that's my starter kit. That being said, still waiting for Laravel JS. Why would you wait for Laravel JS if PHP is just the GOAT at this moment? Just don't do that, okay? Mohammed is asking if there is any AI for free. Well, CodeRabbit is literally for free. This code we are exporting today will be literally for free. Let's review your code for free. And I want to really show this because you guys will be excited about this. I can feel it already. Okay, so let's create the migration. Okay, the migration is created, and I think this will be quite simple. Okay, I don't want to deal with authentication or crap like that. So the only thing I will do here is just go all the way down, and I'm going to type here table. This will be a string for the name. So this will be the person name, I think. And then if I go here, I'm going to go with text for the message. So this will be, Nuno, or potentially, Andy from Lithuania or whatever, So basically, this will be you guys. You guys will be interacting with me through MCP. And this will be Simon, for example, through MCP. So this will be quite simple, okay? So just the name. And then we have the message as a text. So I should be able to type PHP artisan migrate. Will be quite simple. Here we go. And this is done. And what I will do now is work on my model, I think. So migration is done. We can click on model, and we can have the model right here. All right, this is beautiful, I think. I'm going to commit this stuff, and I want to see how CodeRabbit reviews me these 2 files already, okay? I think I'm going to remove this README because we don't need it. So I'm going to type here git checkout -b, and this will be feat, model, and migrations. I'm going to start really simple and really slow. I'm going to add everything, and I'm going to type git commit -m, and this will be called fit domain layer, okay? Kind of all this backend we need for this feature. And I'm going to push it. Now, once I push this, what I will do is that I'm going to open GitHub right here, and I'm going to create a new pull request. Okay, I'm going to call this domain layer, and I'm going to create this pull request. Now, during this week, something I've been doing is using CodeRabbit with all my projects, okay? And in case you don't know, CodeRabbit is this software that just reviews your code for you. And the way it works is that every single time you do a pull request, CodeRabbit will just come, as you can see here, and it will start processing the changes on the pull request. We'll give you a pull request review. And something I have noticed, and I got super surprised with, is that because I have used it all the week, it started learning it with me a little bit and know exactly what I do love about code reviews. And, you know, a few things, for example, I ask for final classes, I ask for read-only classes. I remember asking for things like do not add the down method or, you know, things like that. And over time, I actually became very good at it. So with this tool, I actually get prompt to do by issues that are actually real issues, and I can just fix them either by CodeRabbit, because he also submits a commit if I want to, and I can accept it, or through the pull request itself. By the way, to use this is quite simple. It's free, by the way. You can literally use it for free in some of your open source projects. You just have to add the repo, and that's it. That's the only thing you do. You just add the repo, and immediately you have this CodeRabbit thing reviewing your code, okay? Now, while CodeRabbit is reviewing the code, we can keep working on it, which is exactly what we are going to do, okay? Nicolas is saying, I will definitely name my daughter Laravel. Did you know that actually there is someone who have give the name Laravel to his daughter? That's literally not true. That's literally true, okay? Tony is saying, waiting for Laravel OS. What do you mean, dude? Waiting for Laravel OS? That's crazy, man. Oh my God. Andy from Lithuania is saying, would you say that PHP stand level max is reasonable or a little bit over the top? I like PHP stand level max. I use PHP stand level max in my apps. Okay, I use PHP stand level max in all my apps at the moment. So, you know, you can do whatever you want to. You can go up to level 5. I think level 5 is actually a good level already. If you are there, you are already on top of 99% of the PHP developers. John Sugar is asking, why do I like final classes? I just, you know, it's just for the sake of, I like final classes because it's just a message for people to not touch on that and use inheritance. On my open source, I definitely use final classes for sure. Keys is saying, waiting for Livewire 4. Me too, man. Past 4 is out, but Livewire 4, I'm also waiting for it, okay? Can we mock final classes these days? You cannot, but why would you mock final classes? That's the question. You know, I never write a mock on my testing. I never write a mock on my testing. And honestly, if you are writing mocks in your tests, no good, huh? No good idea. It's just, and we are going to write some tests today, and you are going to see that I don't write any mocks ever. Okay. Ever, ever, ever. Also, Laravel gives me a lot of testing tools. So, Tiago Freire is saying the following. Hi, Nuno. From the other videos I've watched, I've just realized that you really liked that green fizzy water. Oh, you mean this? This is Água das Pedras, which is a Portuguese water. I'm just literally drinking all the time. 1 million subs on this channel. Oh my God, man! I want to reach like 100K ASAP, but it's just tough, man. YouTube is tough. YouTube style all my code, including adding final classes, declare strict types all the way top. So we have that already, and if I go to my migration, we should have that too. Here we go. Beautiful. So this is done. The next step is really write a few tests for this. So let's go here into the unit level. Let's click on models, and let's potentially just copy paste this user test and call this message test. Okay. Now the message test will be quite simple. We are going to test the toArray method. I do that literally all the time because I like to test my toArray method to ensure that I'm not exposing any keys that I shouldn't. And the toArray method will expose the following keys. I want to expose the message, and the name, of course, the created UT in the updated UT. And if I run past PHP, this should be okay. One test is failing. Interesting. Let's see what's happening. Oh, of course. App models message doesn't yet have a factory. We need to work on that. Fabron is asking, if you don't have any mocks, how do you test integrations with third parties? I just use Laravel fakes. That's it. But if I were to ever have to test integrations with first parties, I would just create a fake for it, you know? Wow, Mike is saying that mocking is for losers. I don't think it's for losers. I think there is potentially a few cases where you kind of have to mock, but I don't like to mock ever. Okay. Oh, you use a lot of my tools. Thank you so much, Gonzalo. Appreciate. Hi, Patricio. How you doing? All right, so let's create the factory for the message thing. So let's go here and type use as factory. Beautiful. Let's import here the, I think here I need something like a property annotation. Oh, here we go. We need this. Okay. And let's import here the factory trait too. You cannot find factory. What do you mean? As factory. Here we go. Should be good, right? Oh, because I don't have this PHP Storm is so good. Like, it's literally telling me there is no factory class for this. Absolutely awesome. Beautiful. So I'm going to go here into database, migrations, or factories, and copy paste the user one, and just call this message factory. Now, the message factory won't have a password, of course. The definition will be just the name and the message. Do I call it message or content? I forgot. Let's go to the migration and see that. So I have message. I don't like message. Maybe I'm going to name this content. It's a little bit better. Message content. Here we go. 1,000 times better. And I'm going to update the test so you can reflect that real quick. I'm going to click on unit, models, message test, and rename this to content. Okay. So if now run past PHP, we should be good. 6 tests passing as expected. By the way, chat, if you just arrived, today we are building a real Laravel MCP application all together with the help of CodeRabbit. Talking about CodeRabbit, is it done already? Let's see. So the reviews may take actually a while, and I'm okay with it because the reviews will be super accurate, and you are going to see that in a second, okay? So once you do a pull request, the bot will inform you that wait a few minutes because we are reviewing your code, but then we'll come with actually super accurate code review, okay? So let's clear the terminal, and let's type here composer lint to lint my code. Beautiful. And at the end, let's type composer test so we can have all the test suite passing as expected. Okay. So let's go here, composer test. So this will run the entire test suite, including coverage and everything. Okay. Here we go. Beautiful. So we have a passing test suite, and we should be good to go. Oh, here we go. Basically, CodeRabbit already finished the code review that we have done. And I'm stoked to show you like how accurate this code review is, how accurate this bot actually have became over the week working with me. It's actually crazy. So let's see. The first thing it tells you is that we did remove the README on this pull request, okay? And keep in mind that I haven't yet pushed these changes, okay? These changes contain the test changes plus a few styling changes, so we don't have that already. But we can see already a little bit about what CodeRabbit tells us about this. So we indeed removed the readme.md, and we added the eloquent model message. We also introduced a new migration with name, message, timestamps, plus a rollback to drop the table. Okay, let's see. We get to see exactly what got changed, and this is probably, this is a feature that I got most surprised about CodeRabbit. Like, the diagram sequence they provide is stupidly accurate. Is kind of ridiculous how accurate this diagram is, okay? So we get to see exactly what we have done on the message model, which will create messages on the back end, okay? And then we got the message, the model instance. This is kind of stupidly accurate, okay? If we go all the way down, we see a few comments, okay? A few comments. That's why I like this. Check this out. So basically, on the message model, we get to see that we forgot to declare the strict types 1 all the way top. We also get to see that we forgot to make this class final. I love it. I love it. This was basically 2 files, but it was already able to kind of tell me actions I could do. And obviously, this is, again, 2 files. And the first one is that we forgot to declare strict types all the way top, but also declare a final class. And if you click on this committable suggestion, you can actually commit this suggestion. Okay, so if you agree with this change, you can just come here and type commit the suggestion, and that's it. Which I love it. I love it. All right, this is it for the CodeRabbit review. Tony, the stream is freezing. Oh my god, I don't know what to do anymore. Maybe I need like hired internet or whatever, because at the moment, you know, I don't know what else to do. I have the bitrate literally at 3,500. Let me know in the chat if the stream is freezing for anyone at the moment, or if it's just perfect. Let me know. Write on the test if it's okay. It should be good for everyone, but you know, sometimes people just, because it freezes for them. Here we go. Froze to dead. Oh my god. It's literally dead. Oh, is it back? I have no idea. Okay, I'm going to review. I think I'm going to just... I don't know what else to do. You back? I'm back? Whoa! We back. We back, chat. We back, chat. Here we go. Here we go. All right, chat. If it freezes again, just let me know, okay? Just let me know if it freezes again, because I don't know what else to do, okay? I don't know what else to do. All right, chat, let's continue to move forward. So we actually already fixed some of the suggestions by CodeRabbit by the audio is out of sync. All right, I'm going to literally just, you know, restart the stream. All right, write on the chat if the stream is okay for everyone. If it's not, I'm going to restart the stream, I think. The audio is fine. Like, why would you say that the audio is out of sync if it's not? Like, seriously. Twitch is fine. All right, how about you, YouTube? Are you okay? It's okay for you? Okay. Oh, it's okay. All right, let's go. Let's continue. So we already actually solved some of the suggestions that CodeRabbit done. So what we can do here is just run the entire test suite. So what I will type here is just composer test. We have the test suite running and going, okay? Okay. All right, we back, baby. We back, baby. So the test suite is good. We can just add all of this and just type tests domain layer. So we are basically just testing the domain layer, quite enough, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So this is done. We can go here, appreciate the review by CodeRabbit. And by the way, CodeRabbit would also do another pull request review right here. But because I'm super comfortable with the code right now, I won't wait for that. I'm going to just literally go here and type merge pull request, okay? So this is done. We have this pull request ready, and we have literally the domain layer fully ready for what is coming. Okay, so we can type git checkout main, type git pull, and we are ready to go. Okay, ready to go. So we have the models, we have the migrations. The next step is start working on the actual action. Okay, so let's click here on app. And if you work with this starter kit, you will see that you have actions, enums, HTTP, models, providers, services. You have everything like ready to go. And what we are going to do now is delete this git keep and add actions. By the way, chat, write down the chat if you guys are using actions already. Are you guys using actions? Type yes on the chat ASAP. If you are not, today you are going to see how useful actions, the action pattern can be in general. It's absolutely awesome. You are going to love it, okay? You are going to love it. Oh, Charles is saying yes. Nice. Andy from Lithuania is saying yes too. Kies is saying yes. Oh, la. So good. Constantine is asking why Laravel Pint is failing to install my composer. I have literally no idea. All right, a lot of people using the action pattern, which is absolutely awesome. Today we are going to see again why the action pattern is so useful, especially when working with MCP as well. Okay, especially when working with the Laravel MCP. So what we're going to do now is type PHP artisan make action, and we are going to call this create message. Okay, beautiful. Here we go. The action got created successfully, so we can do this and click on this action file, and we have this action file right here. So we can start working on this. Now, we don't need transactions because we are effectively just performing one action, which is creating the message itself. So what we can do here is type message create. Let's actually use the query thing. Here we go, create. And then I'm gonna create this with name, which will be an argument. Here we go. And the content itself, just like that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Here we go, here we go. All right, I'm gonna return this as well. So this will return message. Okay, so create message action will handle this by creating this on the database. Guard attribute assignment, use the name attribute is guarded. Is guarded? Not anymore, not anymore. I'm gonna unguard it if it's guarded. How about now? How about now? What do you have to say, dude? What do you have to say? Just go away warning. It doesn't go away? Interesting. But I did add this little thing. Why are you keep annoying me? That's interesting, PHP Storm. You should not do that. How about this? Oh, this will complain about the create, which is even worse, yeah. Okay, let's keep this for now then. All right, so this is the create message action. I think we can quickly test this real quick too by going to unit actions and then remove this git keep real quick and just create this create message action test. This will be the most simple test I have ever written in my life. Bam. Let's type it creates messages. Provide the function. This will be the action itself, which we can resolve out of the IOC container. And then we create an action with a test in the test message. And we expect the message to be this. Beautiful. All right. This should actually, why this is complaining? Protected visibility. Oh, I remember this. Actually using content as an attribute is not as great because it's being used by Eloquent behind the scenes. We may have to change this, chat. We may have to change this. Malok is saying it's Laravel idea. You might need to regenerate the PHP annotations. Interesting. Can you show a query DB action? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Simon Curado is saying the following: I'm trying to learn Laravel in PHP from scratch, and I have no idea what actions are. That's fine, man. That's totally fine. Actions are something that you probably learn after, being good with controllers, form requests, and everything like that. Mike is saying that he writes a full application in a single controller method. I would not advise you to do that, okay? I would not advise you to do that. You need to install Essentials. It's installed already. Essentials comes by default on this package. As you can see here, comes by default, okay? All right, let's rename. Let's not use content here. I don't like the content thing because the content is actually a method on Eloquent models. So let's actually do that as part of this pull request too. So let's go here to database migrations and go to this create message table. Let's maybe here, let's rename this back to message perhaps, I think. Okay. So this means that I have to rename my factory once again to message, and I have to adjust my message test to message. And now, if I go to my action, I can use message. Here we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And go to my create message action test and start using message instead. And if I run the entire test suite, we should be good to go, and we are. Okay. Let's actually commit this stuff and see what does CodeRabbit has to say about this code. Okay. Let's see what CodeRabbit has to say. So I'm going to just link this code, and I'm going to run PHP stand 2, I think. Here we go. PHP stand should be okay with everything, I feel. It is. Here we go. We can just type composer test and pull request this. A body? Ooh, interesting. People, should we use message or body? Here, should be body or message? What do you guys think? I think body could be actually a good option. Let's see what the chat says about this. By the way, if you just arrived, my name is Nuno Maduro, PHP and Laravel developer. I love what I do. So if you enjoyed this content today, go all the way down and subscribe this channel. By the way, chat, today we are developing a full MCP application, with the help of this amazing tool, CodeRabbit. If you don't know what CodeRabbit is, this software that reviews your code for you. Really simple, real quick. So check them out if you haven't already. It's actually a great software, and I'm using it already from 7 days ago, and I love it. I'm loving this software. Plus, it's free for open source, so you can check that out. All right, people are saying bodies. Let's use body, I think. We may have to rename a couple of places here. So this will be body now. This will be body, and the message test will be body too, okay? I think we should be good to go. Yeah, the test suite is happy. Oh, it's not happy for some reason. Table messages has no colon named message. Oh, interesting. What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, on the factory. All right, makes sense. So this needs to be body here. And this is text with 200 characters. That's fine. Yeah, message. Yeah, I know, chat. I know. That would have been an horrible decision. Thank you. Appreciate. All right, we still have something. I think it's in the action already at this point. Oh, this needs to be body. Here we go. All right, this should be good now. And it is, I think. It is. Yes. PHP stand, reactor, everything is running. All the tooling we love is literally running at the moment, which is absolutely awesome. Here we go. Beautiful. So we can just type git add-p, we can type git checkout-b feat actions. Okay, this will be feat actions. And we are going to commit just feat add create message action. All right, so let's push this, and I think we should be good to go. Here we go. Pushing all this stuff, and let's open a pull request. So we have CodeRabbit reviewing this for us. Now, while we wait for CodeRabbit to review this, I want to show you something about CodeRabbit, which is super interesting, which is, actually, you get very accurate reports about how your team is doing. If it's just getting better over code, how is the adoption of CodeRabbit in general? So you get to see all of that on this beautiful dashboard. For example, you get to see how many pull requests were made, how many pull requests and suggestions from CodeRabbit were made too, how many of them were accepted, how many learns were used, and how many learns are being created. And this is actually super important. Probably the best feature I enjoy during the week is this learning section. So while I was, interacting with CodeRabbit, every single time I thought, all right, CodeRabbit should have interacted here. I just interact with CodeRabbit saying, hey, can you please next time make sure this class is final, or next time make sure this PHP annotation is removed or whatever. And it will basically do those things the next time it reviews code, And something I enjoy a little bit differently from coding styles in general, because some of you may actually say, well, why would you not use, for example, something like coding style rules, for example? And the difference is quite simple. When using something like CodeRabbit, which reviews the code directly on the pull request, you just say, well, this is something I actually don't like. Just don't do it again, for example. And then you are writing rules based on actual actions from the code reviewer. And on guidelines, you actually don't know what to write. You just don't know. Okay, you are just pretending that you think that the AI will like this, but you just don't know. So just in general, I feel like that learning capacity of CodeRabbit is super powerful. Okay. By the way, chat, how the live stream is doing so far since the last time we have those problems 1 hour ago or whatever? How is since then? Marcelo Guerra is saying the following. I've seen some people advocating for validating inside actions. I don't agree. So I don't do that. I don't validate inside actions ever. Okay? I don't ever validate inside actions. So I do that outside of the actions, so it works much better. Oh, that's perfect. Thank you for the feedback, Chad. I really appreciate. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How do you contribute to open source? You just go there and contribute. During this live stream, Chad, I actually share with you multiple examples of contributions you can make. For example, I literally just released this new Laravel starter kit, and I told you guys that this documentation could be better. Here we go. Here is an open source opportunity for some of you. You can just go here and improve the documentation. Same goes with the essentials. Like, I have multiple packages with various opportunities to improve. CodeRabbit looks awesome. Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, we have a link right now. I'm gonna send to you. Here we go. I'm gonna send you this. But yeah, I'm using this shit all the time. Plus, let's talk about pricing, by the way, which is important. Let me just check if this is over. Okay, it's still running, I think. Yeah, it's still running. So in terms of pricing, it's literally for free on open source, but you still also get 2 weeks for free before using it in private projects. So what you guys can do is that if you have open source projects, you can use CodeRabbit for free. If you have a private project and you really believe on the tool, you can sign up and just use it for 2 weeks and then decide if you actually want to use the Lethal or the Pro plan. Currently, I'm on the Pro plan and I am having a blast, honestly. I'm having a blast. Okay. So that being said, what do I have to do? Here we go. All right. Let's continue to move forward. So we have the action. It's the moment of actually talking about MCP. Okay. Let's talk about SCP a little bit. MCP. So before we jump into MCP, now will be the actual moment where we require the composer package, Laravel MCP, where we create the server, where we create the tool, where we test the tool, and we start interacting with those things. There is a few bits here which are super important, like tool descriptions, server descriptions. This is something that you might don't think about, but will be crucial if you have an agent interacting with your Laravel app. Okay, with your Laravel app. Dan Anonymous is asking, I was just wondering, did anyone already try Pass4 browser testing on Symfony? I'm pretty sure people have tried it, and I'm pretty sure it just works. Something that may not work in Symfony is, may not work. It will not work for sure, is database transactions and database refreshes. That's something specific to Laravel, okay? Samuel Siki is saying the following, can you show us what it does in their UI? Absolutely. So just to recap a little bit, CodeRabbit is this software that reviews code for you. And we actually have seen an example already. I'm going to close this, and I'm going to show you one of the pull requests we have done early today. So CodeRabbit wrote this pull request description, and then came all the way down and give me a nice description about what exactly this pull request is about. So give me the files, give me a nice sequence diagram, and then give me actual things I could do on my code. Some of them I have done. For example, if I click here, oh, they're not here anymore. Let me click it on conversation. The very first review we did actually suggests me to add read-only things and final classes and everything, so that was good. Yeah, I don't get to see it anymore. It's kind of the history. Oh, here we go. Enable street types for more consistency, for example. Actually, this is interesting. Suggested me to add an index to the created UT. Now, this is interesting and it gets to exactly the point that what I like really about CodeRabbit is it actually gives you stuff that static analysis wouldn't give you. For example, if you run PHP stand, we'll complain about types. If you run Pint, we'll complain about styling. If you run Rector, we'll complain about a useless else condition. But CodeRabbit gives you this nice stuff, which is, for example, you are very likely to pull the messages using the latest created UT. And it's literally telling me, oh, can you add an index here? Because you are going to need this. This is literally one code review that a human like me would do. This is something that in Laravel Cloud, for example, I would review code like this. I will tell, hey, dude, can you add an index here? Because we are going to display the activity ordered by created UT, for example, descendant. So, this is the kind of reviews that you get, which is absolutely awesome, okay? And we just created a new pull request. Let's see if it's done already. It's still running, but it takes a while, indeed. All right, so the actions is literally running at the moment. I think we can move forward and maybe start working on the MCP itself. Let's go all the way top and see the documentation about Laravel MCP. By the way, does anyone already try Laravel MCP already? Here we go. Here we go. Does anyone have tried Laravel MCP already or not yet? You're welcome, Animos, and welcome. Yeah, that's super smart. I love it. Marcelo Guerra is already working with Laravel MCP. That's awesome. John Sugar too. Wow, that's surprising, man. Yeah, I changed the documentation from the README to the actual website. So that's why. For package development, I use my own package. I have my skeleton PHP package, what I use for package development. That's what I'm using at the moment. All right, so let's start with Laravel MCP, I think. The first thing we have to do is run composer require Laravel MCP. So this is the very first thing you have to do. So let's just do that. I'm going to clear my terminal and type composer require Laravel MCP. Okay, so that's easy peasy. It will just work. Here we go. The second thing I have to do is publish my AI routes. Okay, let's do that. And if you don't know, by the way, the AI routes you have in your app is literally a way of specifying to Laravel itself which web endpoint will be interacting with agents. So if I click on resources, if I click on routes, I see this ai.php, and I get to see this, for example, that MCP/demo will be serving this public server. In our case, will be the chat server or whatever we are going to call that server, okay? My package for Skeleton is open source, yes. You just have to type skeleton PHP Nuno Maduro on Google and you will get it, okay? All right, so we have this. The next step is creating the actual servers. So let's type here PHP artisan make MCP server. Let's do that. Here we go. And let's call this Nuno Nation chat. Okay, that's done. So we have our server created successfully. The next thing we are going to do is indeed configure our server. So let's do that. Let's click here on app, MCP, Nuno Nation chat, and the name is indeed Nuno Nation chat. The version will be 1.0, and this will be the instructions for the LLM. Now, this is probably one of the most important things you guys need to configure when working with LLMs, which is the instructions. This is the place that we are going to tell agents why they should use your MCP tool, okay? Again, I repeat, this instructions property is one of the most important properties you need to configure, because this is like how you tell your agent why you should use your tool, okay? So here we are going to type the following. This is the Nuno Nation chat server, okay? It's a friendly chat that allows users to have a conversation about various topics. Users can send a message, share their thoughts and engage in discussions, or they can get messages to see what others have shared, okay? So this will instruct the LLM what my server is about. If this would be, for example, a weather application, here I would explain allows you to see the current weather. If this would be a hotel, I would type here allows people to make vacations in Portugal, for example. So if I type, I want to make vacations in Portugal, my agent would know exactly the tool to use, okay? Send message first, exactly. In a second, by the way, we are going to ship this to production, and you guys are going to interact with me using this tool, which will be awesome. How old I am? I am 35 at the moment, okay? All right, so is this over? CodeRabbit is taking a while for some reason. Still running. Okay, let's continue to wait a little bit. All right, so we have the instructions of this server. What else we have? We have tools, we have resources, and we have prompts. And I want to take a moment to talk about this. Like, what is tools, what is resources, and what is prompts, okay? Today we are focused only on tools again. And tools, to be honest, is like 90% of what people use MCP for. Let's start with resources. So resources are typically PDFs or actually huge pieces of content. So imagine that you have an hotel MCP server. One of the resources would be the hotel guidelines, okay? So if the agent needs to understand how is the hotel in terms of accessibility, you would have here a resource which says accessibility guidelines or whatever. And because of that, the agent would know, wait, I can check, I can download this manual. I can download this manual of these guidelines and from the list of resources of this server. So that's what resources are about. Prompts are predefined texts that predefined prompts that the AI agent may use. For example, we may have a prompt which is, I don't know, which is called get message or whatever. And this basically returns a fully fleshed out prompt for the user. Like something like, this will send a message or whatever, type the input here. So we'll be basically just give me a key, I give you back a prompt. That's it. Kind of simple. I barely, if ever, use this, to be honest. And tools are the thing we are going to use all the time. So we are going to allow people to send a message and then get all of the messages on their agents themselves, okay? Let me know if this was clear. This might get a little bit confusing because effectively you can do almost everything with tools at the moment. I use tools all the time. It's the only thing I use, to be fair. Artificial Guy is saying that I have been 35. I look like 20? I don't think so, dude. I don't think so. Dridder is saying I'm a Rails guy, but I'm happy to see talking about Laravel. Yeah, man, Rails is super similar to Laravel, to be honest. So you guys share the same philosophy as us, which is awesome. Charlie French Boy is saying that I was also 35 2 weeks ago. Oh, you're not 36? All right, chat. So this is done. I want to kind of close a little bit with the action pattern. Here we go, chat. So CodeRabbit just finished reviewing my action pull request, and I want to see what exactly, you know, the summary of CodeRabbit is about this pull request and what can we see here, okay? So let's click on the summary to see what exactly CodeRabbit wrote. So we added a new feature, which is the ability of create messages with name and body. That's true. We had refactored. Ooh, interesting. We indeed renamed the content to be body across the entire application. This will affect API and data outputs. That's true. That's true. So that's very true. This is actually a very good insight because if we were to rename this a little bit after, potentially like after our application be online and everything, indeed this would have an effect on the API. Okay, I've adjusted the model configuration for simple data creation, indeed, and I've added unit tests for the message creation. Yeah, for the action itself. And I can walk through. Okay, let's walk through this. I get to see that we have a new action, call it create action. I get to see the rename we have done in eloquent mass assignment. Interesting. Oh, because on this pull request, we have actually added the model unguard situation. If you guys remember correctly, if I click here on service on providers, I get to see this. We added this on this pull request. Okay, let's see this. Oh my God, this is so good. Check this out. So on the create message action, we are going to create a message using the eloquent model, and we are going to use the create method, which is allowed thanks to mass assignment, which is true. This will insert a new message on the database, which is a persistent record, and that will be returned back to the eloquent model. The eloquent model will return back the message instance, and the message instance will be returned back from the action. It's so good. Exactly, pick and flow. So this diagram was created from CodeRabbit. Oh my god, it's freezing again, chat. Oh my god. Oh my god. Please is not tell me it's not freezing. Please tell me it's not freezing again, chat. Otherwise I will just ugh. Is it good? Please write on the chat if it's good, chat. Write on the chat if it's good. It's okay, okay, cool. But yeah, chat, I'm gonna be honest, man. This diagram, when doing a big feature, is probably one of my favorite things about CodeRabbit. This beautiful diagram, okay? This beautiful diagram. So super accurate and literally all the time. I love it, all right? So let's go all the way down. We get to see as well the possible related pull requests. And this one was related because we added the domain layer for this. Let's see the comments here. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. Let's stop here, okay? Let's stop here. So CodeRabbit is saying the following. You should avoid relying on model unguard. Prefer model level fillables to constrain mass assignments to the name in the body, aka add this to your model, and remove the global unguard. Chat, this is honestly nice feedback. However, it doesn't work with me because I actually prefer model unguard. So I want to know what you guys think, man. I want to know what you guys think. Because on this moment, what I could do, chat, is come here and say, CodeRabbit, I actually enjoy model unguard. So stop being annoying about this, okay? I could technically type this. And if I were to type this, what CodeRabbit would do is that it will understand that Nuno in his team doesn't like that I complain about the unguard, so I will stop doing it, okay? Okay, let's see what chat thinks. CodeRabbit is right on the money. Nuno, is English your native language? No. Always fillable? Use the fillable? Are you guys serious right now? Okay, well, some people prefer the unguard. Okay. Oh, it's interesting. Okay, Andy from Lithuania is saying levels of protection can hurt, but I can see the unguard appeal. Honestly, like, this is actually a very good review right here. It's just a question of preference. It's just telling me, hey, you are using unguard, be careful, because that's a sharp knife. You know, it's a very sharp knife. Do you want to keep using it? Do you want to stop using it? So it's actually like a very good review we are getting right here from CodeRabbit, okay? So what I will tell, I understand you guys love fillable, but I have my own preferences, okay? I have my own preferences, my own style, okay? So what I will do is tell the following. I actually enjoy model unguard, so stop being annoying about that. So what CodeRabbit will do is that it will learn from this interaction and not complain about this anymore. All right? Ooh, let's go all the way down. So continues to basically complain about the unguard situation, which is very unsafe. Indeed, it is unsafe, but it's something that I like to use all the time. Okay, so I'm going to resolve this conversation. So this code review was actually super accurate in the sense that we were like in check with everything. We had like declare strict types on top. We have final read-only classes. We have this action beautiful written. And undeniably, the only thing I would probably question is indeed the change we have made here. Okay, this is actually something I have made. Now, why this is so useful, it's because imagine that you have this huge pull request coming from a junior, for example, okay? Coming from a junior. And during that pull request, you have 1,000 lines changed. And one of them is actually this. You wouldn't see it, but CodeRabbit would. And it will just tell you, you might actually want to not use this. Let me know what you think. So the code review was good. The code review is good. Ooh, wait a second. I said I actually enjoy model unguard, so stop being annoying about that. Understood. I understand. I respect your preference for using model unguard. Thanks for the clarification. I won't suggest you replacing it with fillable properties in the future. Learnings learn. Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Thank you, thank you. That was a good one, CodeRabbit. That was a good one. Yeah, Malok. Malok is saying as long as you don't use request all, you're fine. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, defensive coding is legit. So I appreciate CodeRabbit. That's why I give like a hurt, you know? That's why I give a hurt. But I'm telling you, man, this is so cool. I kind of wish CodeRabbit could share the learnings or my learnings with some other people. Because, you know, if we could all contribute to a shared knowledge about Laravel, this would be so cool. Maybe we need to talk about them about this. Okay, so this is good. This is awesome. I'm going to just screenshot this. We need to tweet this ASAP. We need to tweet this ASAP. Do we have Twitter open? I don't have Twitter open? Why don't I have Twitter open? That's crazy. Here we go. Here we go. Love teaching CodeRabbit a few things. CodeRabbit good practices. I'm gonna write, I love teaching CodeRabbit good practices. This will fire, man. This people will complain about this hardcore. I'm gonna grab a little bit popcorn here because I need it. People will complain about this so hard. Oh my god. All right. All right, Shad. Thank you, CodeRabbit. That was a good review. Appreciate your review. What we need to do here. Oh my god, what I'm doing. Rage baiting. Oh my god. All right, let's click here on confirm. Do they have any nitpicks? Because last time... Ooh, he does. Interesting. Okay, something we need to check too is this nitpick comments. So typically, CodeRabbit will only annoy you about the things that are really important. And today, this model on guard is really important. However, if you click on nitpick comments, you will see a section with, with a little bit things that you might change, but they are optional. You don't have to do it, okay? And the first one is saying is that avoid asserting on the key order. Assert only on the presence of keys. This is so good. Array key order is not guaranteed and can lead to brightly tests. Prefer presence only assertions. This is so good, chat. This is so good. This is a type of review, again, that you wouldn't get from static analysis, but you get from CodeRabbit. Check this out. It's literally telling you that on the current test, which is this one, you are relying that the very first column being returned will be ID, and the second one will be name. However, this order right here will literally depend on the driver you are using. The database driver will, for example, we are using SQLite for testing, right? So he's literally telling me, just don't rely on order to avoid having to touch on this in the future. Just rely on the presence of those keys, okay? Let's go all the way down. Let's go all the way down. Rename user to message. Oh, literally detected that here I was using, this is a bug indeed, man. Oh my God, CodeRabbit doing his job. That's crazy. Let's click here on tests. So that would be what? In models, message test potentially? Here we go. We literally have a bug. Here we go. So it's literally telling me that I should rename user to message. Nice one. Thank you. That's a nice one. That was a nice review. What else? This one we don't need. What is this? We have this already. CodeRabbit is telling me to prevent lazy loading, but Essentials comes with this already. Yeah. Essentials actually comes with this by default. Is a good suggestion. Is a good suggestion to enable prevent lazy loading in only locally, not in production. Is a good suggestion, but we actually have this already. Okay. Nice, neat, picky comments, CodeRabbit. Thank you. Okay. All right. Let's basically move forward here. So we have fixed this situation. We can type git status. Do I want to type git status? No. I want to type git add -p. I want to type git stash. I want to revert this, and I want to commit only this change. Here we go. I'm gonna also do yeah. I won't actually change the order thing, but it was actually a good suggestion. Let's type here git commit fix variable name, and let's push this. So this should actually finish this pull request about actions. Here we go. So I can type merge pull request. And once this is done, I can go back to my terminal and type git checkout dash checkout main. And I can type now git stash pop, so I get that MCP server back again. Here we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What else do we need? So we went with, we were discussing MCPs, right? And how to install them and how you get started. Right, we were on that point. Senior devs can celebrate. No more code reviews. I think, honestly, it takes a little bit so CodeRabbit actually becomes super good. That's why I think this week with me was important, because it's starting to getting even better. All right, let's talk about MCP now. Okay, let's talk about MCP. Again, we are developing a chat application, and we are going to use MCP, so people can literally interact with that chat over MCP, over agents, things like Cloud Code and Cursor. And what we have done so far is type composer required Laravel MCP, and then we published the routes file, and finally we created our first server. That lives right here. Nuno Nation Chat is our first server, okay? Now, once you have the server, you can register tools, you can improve the instructions for the LLM's agents, you can set up the version, and you have this name Nuno Chat, right? So we are going to expose the Nuno Chat server by clicking on ai.php and then doing this. MCP chat, and this will be serving the Nuno Nation Chat. Beautiful. So we can do this, and let's include this Nuno Nation Chat. Beautiful. So this is app. Why is it not importing today? What's happening with my PHP store? Oh, here we go. App MCP servers, bam. So we have this important and exposed on the web. We should be good. I think the next step is creating a new tool. So let's do that. Let's type here PHP artisan make MCP tool. And this one will be send message, okay? All right, so send message got created successfully. We can open tools and open send message. And again, we want to make sure the description is super accurate and good. So what we can do here is type use this tool to send a message to the chat. What else? Is this good enough? I almost feel it's good enough. Yeah, we can type here to send a message to the Nuno Nation Chat server. I feel like. See. All right, so we have that run. What else? We can go all the way down. We have this to do. So this is a to-do, indeed. We have to do this, okay? And we have the schema. Now, this is important. When you are creating a tool, you want to define the schema. But before we jump into that, I want to register this tool. So what I will do here is rename this to send message tool. And I can copy this class name and move it to my server and use it on this tools array, okay? Here we go. So let's do that. I'm going to simplify the namespace, so this makes total sense. And this is done. And what else? I'm going to just type composer linked and open a pull request so we can work on tests on the test suite while we have CodeRabbit reviewing this for us. Well, I can actually work. Yeah, let's do the full thing and then test it while CodeRabbit is reviewing, okay? All right, so we have registered the tool. The next step will be defining the schema. Chat, I'm going to use the bathroom. I'll be back in a second. Robert is saying, did you do any MCP development on previous streams? I have opened streams developing the MCP package, but not actually doing anything substantial, I think. Okay. Someone is asking, do you think instructions should be over a blade view? You can do that actually. So here, for example, instead of having a protected description, what you can do is having a public description. Okay. And here you can return a blade view if you want to. Okay. Here you can return a blade view. All right, let's start with the schema. So what do we need, chat? What do we need to actually receive a message? Well, obviously we need the name. So let's do that, name. And let's create a schema for the name. So this will be a string. Okay. The description, actually I'm going to make a string with a minimum of 1, a maximum of 100, indeed. And 100 is, well, 100 is a lot. Let's put 50. And the description will be the name of the user sending the message. Here I want to make this perfectly clear that it's not only this. Okay. The name of the user sending the message. Don't use user or assistant or Claude or GPT or AI or bot. Important. You ask the user for their first name if you don't know. Here we go. So little to tell the agent, this is a very important field, and you actually need to provide something meaningful for this, okay? And this description is also, this field is also required. So let's make it required. Okay, so it's a string, minimum 1, maximum 15, required description. Beautiful. Let's go all the way down and actually do the same thing for the content. So it will be a string, minimum 1, maximum 500. Actually, we can make, yeah, 500 is enough. Well, it's more than enough, yeah. And it's required too. This will be a little bit more simple. Let's type here composer linked to have this fully styled. Here we go. Beautiful. All right. So this is the schema that the agent should obey to. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, we have that. And Bonkers, thank you so much for the subscription tier 1. I really appreciate supporting me since day 1. I really appreciate, man. You're awesome. No, is it possible to upgrade from junior level to middle by watching your streams and videos? Yeah, I mean, you learn a lot from my streams. People have been telling me that. There is this place where I have learned everything I know, call it Laracasts. So if you want to become like a senior like I am, you can check this. By the way, chat, if you just arrived, my name is Nuno Maduro, PHP and Laravel developer. I love what I do. If you're enjoying today's content, go all the way down and subscribe to this channel. Today, we are building a full Laravel application using MCP AI. So basically, we are going to use Cursor to interact with your app, with our application, which will be shipped in production within 30 to an hour. So once this application is in production, you guys are going to use Claude and Cursor to interact with my application and actually have a conversation with me. For this, we are using Laravel MCP, which is a new package we have just released, and we're also using to assist us on the development CodeRabbit. If you don't know what CodeRabbit is this tool that reviews code for you. Basically goes through your pull request and tells you things that just takes forever to do. Okay, so I'm gonna send you the link if you guys haven't checked that already. Check that out. They're also partners of this channel, and they're absolutely awesome. Okay, CodeRabbit for the win, chat. CodeRabbit for the win. So I forgot to put this. Appreciate chat for the feedback. All right, so this is the schema. This is a beautiful schema. So we have the schema. So now we can interact with the request. Okay, so again, the user goes to Cursor and he types, my name is Nuno, say good morning to the Nuno Nation, right? So this is the request that will be received right here. So the first thing we need to do is validate this request. So I'm going to type the following. The name needs to be a string, needs to have a minimum of 1 and max of 50, and is required. And same goes with the content. So the first thing we do is validate the content. While this is the schema, it's not guaranteed to be respected by LLM agents. This is just a public schema. However, on the actual request, you still need to validate everything, okay? So we still do that. We validate the request. Once we are absolutely sure that the request is okay, the next step is interact with this request. So I'm going to persist the name. on this beautiful variable and by using this string thing from Laravel. And I'm going to do the same thing with the content. And I'm going to actually get the value instead of getting the stringable instance. So we have the name and we have the content, which is beautiful in a lot of things already. Now, what we can do here is actually just do a pull request already. So we can have CodeRabbit doing a review while we continue to work on this. So let's type here git checkout-p feat MCP. Let's type feat MCP send a message perhaps. Okay, so let's do that. And let's type git add-p and let's type git commit -m sends feat send message. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so we can do that. Bada boom, and push this, go to GitHub and open a pull request again. Here we go. Okay, so once we open the pull request, again, automatically, CodeRabbit will jump in, adjust this description, plus adding a nice review of my code and tell me exactly what I'm missing. While this is happening, what we can do here is continue to work on this, right? Because we have the name, we have the content, we need to persist this using the action. In chat, pay very close attention, because I'm about to show you the most important thing in the planet about actions, okay? Actions, they encapsulate logic between entry points of your app. Now, this app at the moment will be MCP only, but the likelihood that we are going to develop a web version is just huge, right? The last thing you want is copy-pasting logic between different files, okay? So what you can do is use the action pattern, which is right here. Oh, I forgot to... Wait a second, chat. Oh, huge mistake. Shit. Huge mistake. One moment. Oh, shit. I need to rebase. Huge mistake. Feat. Git rebase main. Woof. Okay, we're good to go. And hopefully this will retrigger. I think it will. Yeah, force pushed. Yeah, this will just retrigger the review, I think. Hopefully. Okay, doesn't matter. We are going to wait a little bit. All right, so again, chat. Pay close attention because I'm about to show you the best thing in the planet regarding actions, okay? Again, actions encapsulate logic. Logic can be used and reused between the various entry points of your app, okay? So what we're going to do is the following. We have this send message tool that creates messages, right? The message will be created by the web layer, potentially, by queue jobs. It doesn't matter. All they have to do is reuse this action. So what we're going to do here is go here and type create message action and inject the action that creates the message, all right? So from this point, I can already come here and type the following. I'm going to create the message with that name and then in that content. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, this I call a real demo. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Ian Rodriguez is saying you can call CodeRabbit review this pull request. I think it will just retrigger automatically. Here we go. It just does automatically. It's already running. It's fine. So we are literally sharing the logic of creating a message action between MCP tools, but also web layer, potentially controllers and everything. I love it. It's not a singleton. It's not a singleton. This is a fresh new instance. Okay, a fresh new instance. Travis is saying there is any downside of using the app helper directly. Dude, I'm not fan of resolving things outside of the container in the middle of my code because they hide dependencies, okay? That's the principle between defining your dependencies through method injection like this and and just resolving them out of the container. So basically here, I know exactly what my handle method is doing. Like, look at this. It's just beautiful. You accept the request, you process the action, and you return a response. How beautiful this code actually is. I love it. I think this is the most beautiful code I've ever wrote in my life. So we have this. We create the action, okay? So what we can do is return the response back to the agent. And remember, you are talking with the agent. Every time you receive a request and you return a response, you are always interacting with the agent, not the actual user. The user will do his stuff. Here is just the agent. So what we can do here is type markdown and say, your message has been successfully created, okay? Successfully sent to the chat, here we go. You may show to the user the latest messages by using the get messages tool. Okay, this is beautiful because we are literally telling the user or the agent, look, your message was properly received and sent.